Hey, what's up, beautiful people? It's Shower Guy, and I'm throwing a shower rave because today, Lauren and PJ are talking all about creatures that glow. That's right, we're having a glow party on Lauren and PJ Do Science, and PJ, I hope you remember to hit record this time, buddy, or else we're gonna have to do it again. Rave on, my friends.
Galileo, Newton's laws, Darwin writes on nature flaws, Curie, radium and X-ray beams, Einstein relativity, Watson, Crick and DNA, black holes, Hawking, math, Copernicus redraws a path. Lauren and PJ do science. She's got a doctorate, he's got a beat in lyrics. Lauren and PJ do science. Yeah, he's a broke musician and she's gonna teach him.
Hey, yeah, thank you, Shower Guy. And I remember to hit record this time. So this is the first time that we are recording this episode. So it's all going to be bright and shiny and new. Welcome to Lauren and PJ Do Science. I am PJ. And of course, on the other side of the internet is Dr. Lauren. Lauren, great news. We have 17 subscribers. Yay! We're building an audience.
Yeah.
We have 17 OGs.
And we love you, each and every one of you, from the bottom of our hearts. Our
Even
cold,
when we get
scientific hearts.
our dead millennial hearts. Yes. even when we get more subscribers than Mr. Beast, we will still love each and every one of you individually. It might take a while to tell each of you that we love you, but we'll do it.
We'll
do
get
it
there
at some point.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So yeah, 17 subscribers. We're still small, but you know what? We're getting the word out there. We're growing our little community and evolving, much like creatures from the primordial soup evolved into today's topic. You see what I did there? Today's topic, things that glow.
Yeah.
So we are now evolving. We are glowing up. We're going to talk about creatures that glow. So, Lauren, how you doing today? Are you in a great mood? Are you all good? Is everything awesome?
Everything is beautiful and delicious.
It's a spadoinkle day, I trust.
It is a spadoinkle day. Wow, what a if you get that reference, you are an OG.
Yeah. I'm in a great mood because I didn't tell you this. I have 200 pounds worth of Lego sets arriving today. Courtesy of
pounds.
Yes.
Okay.
Pounds.
Right.
Not like British pounds sterling, but actually like LBs.
Right.
Like 87. Lego. They're amazing. They were doing a thing where you hashtag your Lego memories, like Lego video games turn 30, right? And they were doing a thing where share your memories of Lego games. So I shared my memories, and they picked one of mine. We're like, we're gonna give you a big surprise. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And from what they told, like the first thing they told me about it, I figured I was just gonna get like a download link to every single Lego game ever made, which is pretty freaking awesome to begin with. That's great. No, it turns out it's actually 87, I think, or so different individual Lego sets related to video games. So Animal Crossing, Legend of Zelda, the Mario, you name it. So I'm going to get a 200-pound package at about 3:00 today.
So when they said a big surprise,
they weren't kidding.
They weren't
kidding at all.
Wow.
No. Yeah, it's pretty insane, and I don't know where I'm going to put them all, especially after they're built, because my house is only so big, and I mean, let's face it, the box is going to be bigger than my house. So,
well, I wish you the best of luck in your Lego adventures.
Yeah, that's on top of the, 20 sets that I still have to put together that are in my attic, downstairs, in my office. Oh my God, I'm a mess. Between Legos and pop figures, like I am like I really am just a disorganization away from being on an episode of Hoarders with that stuff. It's really bad.
That's me, but with like craft stuff, like bins of fabric, bins of yarn, thread, for embroidery, stuff that I bought because it was cheap, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll just paint it, and then it will be my aesthetic. And it has been sitting in a box waiting for me to paint it for months, if not years. So yeah, I have the constant projects that are waiting to get started or projects that are waiting to be completed, just sitting in various locations in my house.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you have bins there that I picked up and moved myself 20 years ago when when we first met and you guys were moving out of the first place you lived in. So
Very
I would
likely.
not I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Very likely. Although I'm getting better about it because I've had to move so many times. I've started like going through the bins because there were boxes that I literally moved to several apartments without actually ever opening the box. The box would get
Yep.
moved, it would get put in storage. Then the next time I moved, it would get moved again. And I realized like I keep moving this box. I don't actually know what's in the box anymore. So I started going through all of those and realizing how much stuff I had that I just didn't need or had multiples of, hadn't used in so long. It was like, why am I continuing to carry this with me like a burden on my back, weighing down my life?
It's your
So
cross to
I'm
bear.
getting better. I'm getting better about it, but we have to move again in June. So
Yeah,
hmm?
I go through the garage every day because there's kittens and they could escape through the front door, so I kind of use my garage as a little airlock portal. And I
Mm,
just look around and it's full of crap that I haven't opened in at least 3 years. So
yeah.
it's like, what? I can probably live without most of this stuff.
Yeah. There's stuff up in our attic right now. We've been living in the same place continuously now for 5 going on 6 years, which is the longest I've lived in any place in a long time. And there's definitely boxes that just got put up in the attic, and we have not used anything in that box since we got here. So clearly, we don't need it all that badly. But I don't know. It's
And you know what's
sort
going
of
to happen though is next time you guys move, you're not gonna go through any of it. You're just gonna move it, and then you'll get to your new place and be cussing out, "Why did I pay somebody so much money to move a bunch of crap that I don't use when I probably could have just put it all into like a small van?"
I don't pay people to move my stuff. What kind of extravagance is that? No. If anything, I invite my friends over and I promise to feed them if they'll help me move all of my stuff.
Yeah, it's much easier to get the I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if I sent it to you. The PBR Godzilla thing. It's
What?
99 PBRs.
Oh God.
99 cans of PBR in a special Godzilla packaging.
Really
And
what?
it's much cheaper to buy that than to pay for moving guys. So split that amongst your friends and you're all good.
True. But, one of these times we should talk about Godzilla. I just realized we should
I mean,
probably
he
have
is kind of pertinent. Well, I guess she
she.
right because in they established in the one with Matthew Broderick in like 2000 or whatever it was, the one that
Oh, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that she lays eggs. I think we all
Right.
assumed at this time it was like Shin was a he, but
Right.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not as up on my as much as I love Godzilla. I'm not as much as up on my Godzilla lore as I probably should be.
Well, I have a
But
fan. I have a friend who is a super fan of Godzilla, and we could get
okay,
him on this show and just have him talk about Godzilla for the entire hour. He showed us Godzilla minus one recently, and it was so
that's
good.
so good. It's
It was
ridiculous.
such a good movie.
I watched it regular, and then I turned around and watched it in black and white almost immediately after.
Ooh,
Like, it was
oh,
amazing. But
really?
and watch this, ready? Godzilla does tend to glow, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Glowing creatures.
Oh,
Ah!
yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
right. So let's get to it.
let's kick it off. Now, if you remember in the last episode, I posed a question to you, right?
Yeah.
And that was the Human Torch,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
The Human Torch is he a
Is,
bioluminescent being or not?
okay, so is the Human Torch bioluminescent? Um,
Yes.
I so he basically lights himself on fire, right?
Yes.
Or like he he's burning, but he's not burning. He has fire powers.
Yeah, essentially.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say no. That does not
Okay.
fall under the umbrella of bioluminescence because, while yes, fire does create light, um, because he's like actively on fire and not just emitting light, I feel like it's a different mechanism.
Okay.
That would be my take. What do you think?
I'm with you. Because the way he does it, like he generates heat, right? He envelopes himself in like this fiery plaza, but the plasma he gets from ambient heat at like a mixture of ambient heat and oxygen. So it's not like him exactly generating the light. It's
Right.
him like igniting the air around him, which is different. It's not. I don't think he has any of like the luciferase and luciferin and none of that ATP stuff going on. I mean, you can make an argument that pulling it in from the atmosphere could be some sort of luciferase luciferin interaction, but
It's
no,
a
I can't say
combustion
he is.
reaction, though. It's
Right.
different.
Right.
Yeah, it's different. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, bioluminescence generally involves oxygen, but it's not a combustion reaction.
Exactly.
It's not. Yeah, I think it's different. I don't know. My gut's telling me it's a totally different story. Now, the D&D cantrip where you just like create a little light, that could be bioluminescence. I can't remember what it's called. Someone in our fan base, I am sure, immediately will know the one I'm referring to. But off the top of my head, I cannot remember what it's called. But it's like one of those, like, it's either like a cantrip or a level 1 spell where you can just like make a little light. And that I think would be as bioluminescence.
Right. So like ET, he would count because he can just make his finger glow.
Oh yeah. That
Yeah.
would totally count. For sure. Yeah.
So Johnny Storm, Human Torch, not a bioluminescent.
No.
I'm glad we agree on that. That's much
Yeah.
easier. I thought we were gonna have like a 20-minute debate, and next thing you know, our hour was gonna be up, and we are gonna be at the end of the episode. But
Yeah,
no, that's
have
easy.
to do a
Cool.
third episode. All right, cool. So we agree.
Yeah,
Johnny
that is combustion reaction. And if you disagree, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear what you'd say. And anyway, back to creatures that glow in our dimension. Lauren, take it away.
So, just a quick recap from last time. So, last time we talked about the chemical mechanism behind bioluminescence, which is basically just you have an enzyme called a luciferase that reacts with a chemical called luciferin. It gets the luciferin all excited. Its electrons rise up to a higher energy state. And then when they come back down from that higher energy state, they emit that extra energy as photons of light. And that is how bioluminescence is produced. So it can have an extra step. There can also be another protein involved called a green fluorescent protein, or GFP, that captures the light emitted from the calmed down luciferin and then turns it into a different wavelength of light. So I'm going to talk about different examples today of bioluminescence in nature. So I'll talk about like kind of like the how widespread bioluminescence is in nature. Turns out pretty far. There's lots of different things that can do it. We'll talk about some of the reasons why animals and other organisms would want to glow. Like, what's the point in glowing? And then we'll talk about some like specific, really cool examples.
All right.
So, first of all, as far as like how many different things out there actually are capable of doing this, right? So, when you think about things in nature that glow, like probably the first thing that comes to mind is fireflies, right? Maybe not so much anymore. It feels like they were so prevalent when we were kids, and they're like not prevalent anymore.
It's insane. Like I remember being a kid in my grandma's backyard all summer. They were just there, just tons
everywhere.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now, like, in that same backyard, because my mom now lives in my grandma's house, but when I go up, I mean, in the summertime, you don't see them in the backyard at all.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with pesticides, so widespread use of pesticides, um, people mowing their lawns too short, um, killing off like natural flora, like wildflowers and natural grasses that they prefer. Raking of leaves is also really detrimental to a lot of different species of insects because they hibernate under the leaves in the wintertime. So if you rake the leaves away, you kind of take away that little hidey space for them. So
Mm.
just like people over maintaining their yards basically has led to this sharp decline in firefly populations.
Well, in fairness, it's Delco, so I don't think anybody's ever maintaining their yard. But
I'm just saying,
yeah, it
I'm just
there's
saying,
it,
like, homeowners associations, man, they're
yeah.
evil.
No, it's there's some light pollution that's going on with it too, because I mean, I look around, I hear people talking about where I'm at in Williamsburg, and Williamsburg's really blown up over the last couple years. And I see it all the time. Like everybody's always asking, "Where's the fireflies? Where's the fire?" There were so many fireflies here 10 years ago, but they're doing that same. They're clearing out all the woods for all these developments, which is
Mhm.
adding to one loss of habitat, but also more light pollution, which I imagine would be kind of disruptive to their like flashing and their mating.
It's possible. I mean, light pollution is also something that, like, when we think about pollution, we don't necessarily think about light and how disruptive it is to
Hmm.
natural species. Like, it confuses birds. Um, it's bad for sea turtles because they get confused when they first hatch. They'll start going towards like lights that they see on the beach rather than out towards the ocean. It's bad for all kinds of different species, but that I feel like we could have a whole nother discussion on that. Um,
With our special guest, Captain Planet.
yeah. Oh man.
Yep.
Ugh, that takes me back. But anyway, okay, so fireflies are like the one that I think are like probably the most famous bioluminescent animals. So they're
Yeah.
a type of beetle. Most bioluminescent insects are beetles, although there are some other types out there as well. Um and so they make their butts glow to attract mates. Um so they're using it as a form of sexual attraction, which is really common. So in fireflies, it's actually not always one sex that glows. So in one, females emit light and they're attracting males. Um, in the other type, uh, there's flying males that will emit a signal, and the female responds to the flying male as he's flying around and glowing. So it's sometimes it's the females that glow, sometimes it's the males that glow to attract
So
the opposites.
that's interesting because I was always
Yeah.
taught it was only the males that glowed.
No, apparently sometimes it can be the female too. It depends on the
Interesting. Now, do
species.
yeah, and I was going to ask that. Like, do all females have the capability to glow, and they just choose, or like some
No,
species don't have it, and the females are
right. It depends on the species. So in some species it's the females and in some species it's the male.
gotcha, gotcha.
So it might be that the species that's more prevalent in the United States, it's the male, but it doesn't always have to be the male. In some species of fireflies, it's the female.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so that's like probably the most famous one. There's also click beetles. Click beetles also are bioluminescent. They do it to attract mates, but they could also possibly be doing it as a defense mechanism. And they do two different lights. So they have an orange light that they emit from their abdomen, and that's probably for attracting a mate. But if you disturb them from while they're moving around on the ground, they also have a green light in their thorax that they'll emit, and that might be a defensive mechanism, not an attractive mechanism.
Interesting. So it's kind of like now, do they flash? Can they flash at the same time, kind of like a cop car, and be like, "Wee woo, warning, don't bother me."
Good Good question. I don't know.
So, all right. So then it would be more of like a green light. Like, all right, keep rolling through, keep moving. You got the green
Yeah.
light to go away. Okay.
Right. Right.
Multicolored
So,
organisms. Interesting.
yeah. So I think in our list of songs we also mentioned glowworms. So glowworms are
Mm-hmm.
larvae of insects. So they're not a worm, they're a larva of a beetle. So they glow as larvae when they're you know, beetle babies and they're in that worm form before they undergo metamorphosis and turn into the adult beetle shape. And there's
Are
four
they fireflies
families.
or
No, these are different. So there's the click
okay?
beetles.
Right.
Um, um, some glowworms are fireflies, but not all fireflies are glowworms.
Okay.
Um, there's the glowworm beetles, which are a different group. And then there's another family of glowworms in Asia that contains about 30 species.
Okay. Interesting.
So these glow in their larval form. So that's why they're glowworms.
Got okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm picturing now, like the Asian glowworms and all that. Okay. I
Right,
see it
right.
now. And then some of them when they grow up, they just kind of lose that glowing ability and just become beetles.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And then there are also fungus gnats that are glowworms when they're larvae.
It's a fungus, Matt.
Fungus gnat?
Oh, gnat, like GNAT.
Gnat.
Okay, fungus gnat.
Yeah,
Got it.
GNAT, gnat.
Like
So,
a no-see-um. Okay.
yeah. So, I don't know if you've ever heard of like those glowworm caves in New Zealand and Australia.
I don't think so.
So basically, like if you go into some caves in New Zealand or Australia, um, the larvae kind of like hang from the ceiling. And um, create these little like webs that sort of like hang from the ceiling, but they glow, and the light they use to attract prey into like these webs that they create. It doesn't look like a spider web though. It's like this sort of like long string. So it looks like those strings of lights that have like long, the kind of thing I'm talking about,
Yeah,
where
like you
it's
put in your
like
backyard.
yeah, where there's like these long strings of lights coming down from like a
Yeah,
single
with the little
cord.
bulbs. Yeah,
Yes,
with
it
the little
looks like
bulbs
that.
coming off them. Yep.
Yeah, so there's
Oh,
like
that's
if you
so
go into
cool.
these caves, yeah, so you go into these caves and they're like full of these bioluminescent larvae that are attracting, I guess, little flying insects into these webs.
So cool. So it's like an indoor picnic.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's also some species of these fungus gnats that are in Eurasia and North America, and they call them that because they actually eat fungal spores. So they eat fungus, so they're called fungus gnats.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but they all have like this larval form that emits light. So let's see what else. So we talked about jellyfish and corals, and how they use the system that involves luciferin and luciferase, but also GFP. A lot of marine organisms glow, not just jellyfish. So there's corals that glow. You've probably heard of anglerfish. Anglerfish have that glowing capability as well.
That's my favorite
Um,
fish
yeah, I'll
with
get
the
to
little
that.
lantern.
The way that
Oh, I could
anglerfish
get to that too.
the way that
I have
anglerfish
big
do it is
feelings.
actually very different from what we've been talking about up until this point. So we'll get to that. Um,
Cool.
but a lot of what these marine organisms um, do in terms of the bioluminescence is they're using it as kind of like a decoy or a way to confuse predators.
Hmm.
So they'll use it as a mechanism of defense. So there are squid and crustaceans that will emit bioluminescence as a defense to either distract a predator or to scare it away. There's shrimp that will do it. For example, there's something called a sea firefly, which is like a little crustacean that like lives in the sand at the bottom of the ocean. And if you scare it, it'll like make this little cloud of blue light to confuse its predators.
That's fun.
Yep. So it can be a defense mechanism as well as a way to like attract something to you. It can be a way to scare things off. So lots of different things in the ocean can glow. There's octopuses. It's actually not technically correct to say octopi.
Really?
Yeah, because it has something to do with the source language. So like octopus comes from the Greek, and so the technical way to make that plural would be octopode, not octopi, because that would be the Latin way of pluralizing it. I think I have that right. So it's like you're
I don't know, dude. It's all Greek to me.
Oh. Terrible. Anyway.
Gross.
You should be ashamed of yourself. So.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know you're not. But, so like there are octopuses, octopodes, octopi, whatever, octopodes that their suckers have evolved into bioluminescent organs called photophores. So it can create light as in a way of attracting mates in much the same way that fireflies do. Like all of these reasons seem pretty straightforward, right? You've got defending yourself against predators, attracting a mate, confusing a predator, communication of some kind. All of these things would be good reasons to make light. And then you have stuff like bioluminescent mushrooms.
Now, see, that sounds like a fun time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But but why though? Right?
Because they're mushrooms and they do whatever they want. You know why? Because especially and I actually learned this one. I looked up because bioluminescent mushrooms are really interesting. And I found that it's the males that glow. It's only the male mushrooms that glow. And they do this because they like to throw parties because they're fun guy.
You had me going for all of 5 seconds there. I really hope you're proud of yourself.
I am very proud of myself. That's 2 in a row. Boo. Shower guy's trying not to drown himself right now.
Oh, sorry, shower guy. Oh my god. Why? Just why?
Why not? Why not? Anyway, all right. So mushrooms, why do they glow? It seems silly. I mean, it's awesome. You're walking through a forest at night, you see some glowing mushrooms. It's cool, but like, what's the point? But I also know there's a lot of like strange stuff we don't know about mushrooms.
Yeah. So mushrooms are just plain strange. Like if I could go back and get another PhD, it would probably be in mycology. Maybe either that or music theory if I wanted to go like totally, outside of science. But if I was going to get another science PhD, it would probably be in mycology because fungi are so weird. And yeah, I don't know if we've really like hammered down exactly why fungi glow. I mean, the truth is there's a lot of stuff out there that bioluminesces and we only kind of think we know why. We're not entirely sure of the reasons. It's easier to determine that something glows than to figure out how. And it's easier to figure out how sometimes than it is to figure out why something does something.
I mean, that makes sense because there's so many different mechanisms, and you would have to, like, from what I've been gathering, it's the method that everything glows is kind of the same at its base, but then when it kind of spreads out at that base, it's like, where do they get the luciferase? Where do they get the luciferin? What is the ATP saying? Like, I
Right.
imagine there's like a million different directions it can go. Otherwise than just saying the base of like, all right, it's step 1, 2, 3 is happening. But and why did they evolve that? Well, who knows? Maybe it just needs to be like a light in the forest that so deer can see or something.
I, yeah, maybe they're just performing some kind of ecosystem service where it's like, we're just putting these lights out here so that the deer don't get lost at night. I don't know.
Right. Or like you said the other day about the plants on the last episode about how you can tell like the health status of the plant.
Well, no, that is something that has been engineered.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think that there are any plants that naturally bioluminesce. At least
But
not
like what I'm
nothing that's
saying is what if the
visible to the human
fungus
eye. But
what if the
yeah, so
fungus is saying like the mushrooms like I'm ready to be eaten, so I'm going to glow.
I don't know. I think a lot of the bioluminescent ones are actually, well, they're poisonous to human beings. I don't know if they're poisonous to other animals.
Poisonous or fun for human beings? Because there's a fine line
Mm,
there.
well, everything's edible once.
Yep.
Um, so I've been kind of skipping around this idea of a particular type of bioluminescence. It starts in bacteria.
hmm
So there are a few species of bacteria that can bioluminesce. The one that's the most well studied is Vibrio fischeri, which is actually in the same genus as the bacterium that causes cholera, Vibrio cholera.
Oh,
Um,
lovely.
yeah, go figure. This one is not a pathogen. It lives in the ocean and it glows, but it only glows under certain circumstances. So Vibrio fischeri communicates in a particular way that bacteria use called quorum sensing. And basically what that means is they're constantly putting out this chemical signal. And they're also detecting the concentration of that chemical signal in their immediate surroundings. So the more of them that are present in a particular area, the more of that chemical signal is being produced. So the higher the concentration of that chemical signal in the surrounding water. Once the concentration of that chemical signal reaches a certain point, they start glowing. It's sort of like, the reason why it's called quorum sensing is because it's like if you're going to vote on something, you have to reach a particular percentage of the group has to be present in order for the vote to count. You have to reach a quorum.
hmm
So the bacteria have decided there's enough of us here for us to do this particular thing. We've reached a quorum, so we're going to do this thing. And in this case, it's producing this glow. And so they glow using their own luciferase and luciferin. And they only do it if there's enough bacteria present to trigger this response.
So the bacteria just go in and like vote whether we want to glow or not.
Yeah, so it's like they're constantly casting votes. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
When the number of votes reaches a certain point, they say, okay, there's enough of us here. Let's do this.
Oh, okay. So it's not really democracy, more like a North Korean dictatorship situation.
When I talk about it, when I teach it to my students, I say it's like a flash mob.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
you know how you kind of wait for everybody to show up?
Yeah.
And then you give the signal, and then you all start dancing?
Yep.
Because it would be weird if only 1 or 2 people were dancing, but when 50 people are dancing all at once, now it makes
It's
sense.
perfectly normal in the
Right.
middle of a shopping mall. Yep.
Exactly. So, these types of bacteria are also responsible for bioluminescence in some animals.
Okay.
So, this whole like process of quorum sensing in Vibrio fischeri was first discovered in a species of squid, called Euprymnus scalopes, the Hawaiian bobtail squid. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the scientific name correctly, but it's the Hawaiian bobtail squid. He's a real little guy, like the size of your thumb. He's teeny.
Aw.
Yeah, and he's got a little light organ in his mantle, that like big part of the squid that's basically its head.
Mm-hmm.
So in the mantle of the bobtail squid, she, the bobtail squid, collects Vibrio fischeri from the water. The Vibrio fischeri, the bacteria, start colonizing the inside of this light organ. They start, attaching themselves and multiplying and growing, and as they multiply and grow, and the population of bacteria inside of the squid increases, eventually they reach that threshold where there's enough of them there to start glowing.
So now, here's the squid just glows like all the time, or
no, here's the really cool part. So the squid gets a few of these bacteria in its light mantle and buries itself in the sand during the day. By nighttime, there's enough bacteria in the light mantle for it to start glowing. So it glows all night long, and it uses it as camouflage by counter illumination. Basically, if you were a predator looking up through the water column and you saw this light, you would think it was like the moon shining down through the water, but it's just this little squid glowing. So it's a way for it to hide by looking like the moonlight coming through the water.
Yeah, it's hiding in plain sight.
Exactly. But then, at the end of the night, it ejects most of the bacteria from its light mantle. It spits them back out into the water. So it stops glowing. Yeah, it stops glowing, buries itself again, and then allows those bacteria to reproduce all day, so it starts glowing again at night.
That's insane.
Is that crazy?
That is so cool. Yeah, that's bonkers, dude. I love that. I can just picture like a little cartoon with him up there, like, looking down on a shark or something. The shark's like, "Oh no, that's just the moon." He's just like, "Hey, sucker." And then at the end of the day, it's like, "Hawk." Yeah, the end of the day, he goes, "Hawk too," and then that's
exactly
that's it.
And
like, no, honestly, just kidding, bro.
Look up what these guys look like. They are so adorable. They are the cutest. They're so cute. They're so teeny. The Hawaiian bobtail squid. They're so cute.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's adorable. That's going in the thumbnail for the... I gotta figure out how to put that in the thumbnail for the show.
It's too cute. And so that's how we figured out how bacteria talk to each other, by studying this particular model. It was a really brilliant woman named Bonnie Bassler. She works at Princeton. She's done a number of TED Talks on this topic, and I highly, highly recommend looking them up and watching them, because she's just a really great science communicator. And she, not only is she studying how bacteria talk, she's also studying how to disrupt how they talk to each other as a way of fighting infectious disease. So rather than generating more antibiotics that kill bacteria, and eventually you kind of accidentally create superbugs that are resistant to the bacteria by killing them off, you just disrupt their ability to talk to each other. So they never realize they've reached a quorum, and they never start emitting the toxin or, whatever it is that they do to start the disease process.
Oh, that's incredibly useful.
Yeah. So, so this mechanism, this taking up bacteria that glow mechanism, isn't just used by the bobtail squid. It's also used by anglerfish.
My favorite fish, and I mean, they're my favorite fish, but as a male, it kind of sucks. Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
like, explain to me, like the peacock, right? The male has all the colorful feathers, all the all the things are... Males in a lot of species are the colorful ones. They're the interesting ones. They're the flamboyant ones. They're the fabulous one, unless, of course, you're a human male, in which case you try to go around in dark colors and dancing is considered forbidden. But, in the most of the animal kingdom, being a male is flamboyant, fancy, colorful, amazing. being a male anglerfish sucks. Like,
Yes.
you float around, then you find this girl you really like, and you're like, oh, cool, I like her, and she's like, hey, I like you too, and then she's like, why don't you come into my mouth? So he floats into her mouth, attaches himself to her tongue, and then disappears, and basically just winds up living the rest of his life as a set of balls. It
Yep.
sucks. There's no way to live. I mean, anglerfish males, figure out a better way.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel for them. But on the other hand, they signed up for this. I don't know. I think it is interesting that like it's not universal, but in a lot of cases in the animal kingdom, you have like this very bright, attractive male, and then the female's whole thing is like, oh, I got to be camouflaged. I got to be not, you know, in what was the word I'm looking for? You know, frick.
You got to be like more low key.
Low key, sure. Yeah, I need to be able to hide because my whole thing is I'm going
Yeah.
to, you know, sit on a nest or hide with my babies or whatever, and I have to be like inconspicuous. Inconspicuous. So it's just interesting that like as human beings we've kind of I don't know, human culture is just weird. Like
No, humans are the opposite because the females are always like, I'm going to wear crazy colors, put on all sorts of makeup. But then again, we don't like nest eggs. So that's probably one of the reasons why.
well, I would say that it's also a very recent development in human history because if you look at like male fashion 200 years ago, it's a
Oh my
lot more
God. Let's go
flamboyant.
back to that. Please, can we
Can
go
we
back to that? First of all,
can we do
I'd be
that?
like considered, I have great like calves. So I would be considered incredibly sexy.
You would be a
But
hottie
now
in
I'm
the
like,
18th century.
I really would. I'm an 18th century 10.
Got that
I'm
well-turned
a
calf.
21st century 3.
We're
But,
not making this
you
up.
know,
Check out any like 18th century portraits of men, especially like anybody who's like a really well-respected figure. Like look at a portrait of General Washington, George Washington, and check out how he's holding his legs. He's showing off that he has really well-formed calves. And in fact, men would
mm-hmm.
even like if they didn't have good-looking legs, they would buy like these inserts that you could put in the back of your sock to make it look like your calves were like sexier looking, like more sculpted, I guess. Kind of like the equivalent of like wearing a push-up bra or like padding in your pants, but for your legs. So yeah, I want to bring that back. I would love that. I would love it if
I'm
men
all for it.
flamboyantly instead of this
I'm all
boring
for that.
for real.
I'm all for like, even going back more recently, I want to bring back the male knickers. Um, like Payne Stewart, one of the best dressed golfers I think in the history of golf.
Mm,
We bring that look back, and yeah, I want to go back to looking dandy. Nobody looks
yes.
dandy anymore.
I would like to see men in shorter shorts.
uh,
Put that out
1970s.
there.
Just go
Yeah.
watch Boston Celtics in the 70s and
Yeah.
80s. Larry Bird.
Yeah.
We're
Let's
practically
see those
bikini
man
shorts.
thighs. Let's do it.
But you know what?
Yeah,
I like to
so
think I keep that spirit alive by wearing Hawaiian shirts. That's my ability to keep that, and I wear shorts as much as possible too. So
there you go.
that's my way of keeping that alive.
There you go. Yeah.
But anyway, being a male anglerfish sucks.
Yeah, but being a female anglerfish is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
great. I mean, you got a pair of balls in your mouth that you can just be like, all right, I want to have babies. I don't need to go looking for another mate, so I'm just gonna take the life out of these gonads here, and there go my eggs.
That's the life right there. You don't even have to like
Uh
go
huh.
out looking for a date. He's just there.
No, there's no anglerfish Tinder. Bumble
Nope.
doesn't exist.
Nope.
Just shine
But
your
yeah.
little light, and all the fish come by for you to eat. And I mean, you got it set.
Mhm. So yeah, they have this little you've seen pictures of the anglerfish. They have a little appendage on the top of their head, like a little lure called an esca, and that contains bioluminescent bacteria. And they can control the glow of those bacteria in that little organ. So it's not them, it's the bacteria doing the glowing, actually. Um, which I love. I love how much bioluminescence there is in the deep sea. So I was just looking at these numbers here, and like in the shallow ocean, it's something like 2.5% of organisms are estimated to be bioluminescent. So you got like your jellyfish, your comb jellies, the sea sparkle that we talked about, that type of algae. It's a dinoflagellate, so it's a single-celled organism, but it's not a bacterium. It's a eukaryote. So it's a bigger cell. It's got a nucleus. So those dinoflagellates, the X-Men of the sea, that do that cool sea sparkle thing, but in pelagic habitat, so like deep ocean, something like 3/4 of the deep sea animals are capable of producing light.
So it's just a freaking rave out there in the deep waters.
Yeah, yeah, they're
That's
having
awesome.
glow stick raves.
No, one of my favorite stories, and I'm probably I'm not going to be able to tell this verbatim, or I'm probably going to butcher it. But if you've seen Apollo 13, they do the story that Jim Lovell always told about landing on the aircraft carrier at night and how they're in, I guess, like a wartime simulation conditions or whatever. Anyway, all the lights on the carrier were dark, all the lights on the plane were dark. You couldn't see anything in the water, but the churn from the ship's rotors were actually like agitating algae, making the algae glow. So he was able to find the ship by using the algae, like because all his navigation in his plane like went dead too. So he couldn't use
Mm.
any radar or anything like that. So he used the algae behind the ship to land.
Yeah, so that would be those dinoflagellates, the sea sparkle, because when they get
Yeah, and that's
disturbed,
just so cool.
they produce that glow. Yeah, I love that.
And you have some of that
Um,
stuff in swamps too, not just the sea.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Some of those algae are likely in like brackish environments, not just marine environments.
Yeah, because one of the big things stories around here I mean all over the place, but it's very big in Williamsburg is the will o' the wisp, which people say they've gone into swamp and marshy areas and seen these lights like dancing and glowing, and they say of course
Oh,
they're moving in their own way, but believe it
so
as a supernatural thing or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if the basis of it is in glowing fungi or some sort of bacteria.
so the will of the wisp is, you know what? Maybe we should save that for the next episode because I do know what causes the will of the wisp, and it is
Ooh.
bacteria, but it's not bioluminescence.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Why don't we save that for the next episode as a little teaser? We will talk about the will of the wisp. It'll be a separate concept because it's not bioluminescence, but
Okay.
that's a really good segue into a new topic. But
And
I'm
then you've
I'm
heard
not
the story
yeah.
you've heard the stories about like the Civil War soldiers glowing on the battlefield. Like their wounds glowing on the battlefield. Now, is that going to fall under the new category or is that going to fall under bioluminescence?
I haven't actually heard about Civil War soldiers with glowing wounds. That's a new. I'm gonna have to look that
Oh
up.
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because they found that um soldiers who were sitting out in I don't remember where it was, but it was in like a marshy, swampy area. And I guess this bacteria came in to the wounds and started feeding on it and they started glowing. I don't remember the story exactly, but that's kind of the gist of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. I'm gonna look that up, and maybe I'll talk about it next time because that could be bioluminescence. But
Yeah,
I
the
gotta,
Legend of
gotta
Angels
look it up.
Glow. Here it is.
Mm.
Legends of Angels Glow. Battle of Shiloh. Thousands of wounded soldiers lay in the mud for days, some noticing their wounds glowed faintly in the dark. And of course, they're saying it's divine intervention. Doctors observed that soldiers with glowing wounds healed faster and had lower infection. Oh, here it is. Yeah, exactly. The culprit. Photohabdus luminescens, a bioluminescent bacterium, was the source of the glow.
There you go.
And the bacterium lives inside nematodes that feed on insect larvae in the soil, and the conditions of the soil in the
Oh,
battle of the Shiloh um, wound up fighting off the deadly bacteria that would cause gangrene and other infections.
that is so cool. I've
Right?
never. I'm gonna have to tell that to my microbiology students. That's a new one. I have not heard that one before. So
Yeah, it's
you taught
insane.
me
And it turns
something
out,
today.
look at that. I finally taught you something. And it's crazy because apparently it only happened at the Battle of Shiloh, or at least that's the only time they noticed it was the Battle of Shiloh. Like it
It
was
had to be
documented.
those soil conditions then, that
Yep.
particular. type of bacteria was present on that. That is so cool. I can't wait to tell my students that one. That's
Yeah,
great.
they called it Angel's Glow. It was
Angel's
a
glow.
blue-green light, and they didn't discover that it was like a bacteria until 2001, and it was 2 high school students, Bill Martin and Jonathan Curtis.
Oh wow.
They won a science fair
Good for them though.
for
That's really
discovering
cool.
this. But come on, just winning a
Really
science fair,
great.
I think it's worth a little bit more than that.
I agree. I think that definitely deserves more than that.
Yeah. So there you
Well,
go.
there you have it.
Photohabdus luminescence.
Photohaps. I think I have heard of that species
Lumen.
before.
Yeah,
Almost
it's a little
certainly. Yeah,
nematode.
I just hadn't heard the Civil War story. That's really interesting. Cool.
Nematodes are great.
Yeah. But will-o'-the-wisp, not bioluminescence. So I will talk to you about bioluminescence, or sorry, the will-o'-the-wisp, because we just finished talking about bioluminescence. I will teach you all about will-o'-the-wisp next time, and that will be
Yes,
our next topic.
I won't spoil it, but I think I know where you're going because I do know some of the theories on what Will the Wisp is. Because I did a thing in October for Halloween about supernatural things around Williamsburg, like supernatural, like based on occurrence. It's a story based on occurrences of supernatural things, and Will the Wisp is one of them. But my
Mm-hmm.
character explained different things of what it could possibly be. So
Yep.
we'll see. I won't spoil it, but yeah, I think that's all. That whole thing's right up your alley. So I think that works for the next episode.
Sounds good to me.
Planning ahead. Look at that.
Yay! All right.
Still
Well,
sucks to be a male anglerfish.
okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for validation.
You're welcome.
All right,
Anytime.
so anything else interesting on cool critters that bioluminescent by glow?
Well, I mentioned that like there's biotechnology uses
Mm-hmm.
for this. So you can use these bioluminescent systems as like reporter genes. For example, you hook the gene up for bioluminescence to some process that you want to study, and if the thing starts glowing, then that means something is happening, some process is happening. And it's a way of studying different processes in different organisms. We mentioned like looking at stress in plants, for example. They're looking at a way to treat cancer through bioluminescent activated destruction of cancer cells.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you create this way for the cancer cells to start glowing, and then you add something that also makes the cells vulnerable to light. So the cells start producing light, but then they're more vulnerable to light, so they die.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't tried this out in human beings yet, but they've been trying it out in mice.
So here's a good one for you, right?
Mhm.
And I'm always thinking like I'm looking down at my computer right here and it's glowing and all that stuff. And have they done anything that has to do with, like they've discovered that light can carry information. So have they
Mhm.
done anything along those lines using bioluminescent light to carry any sorts of information for maybe like quantum computing?
It's a good question. I don't know. I know that they've like looked at ways of carrying information in DNA of organisms and things like that, like encoding information
Right.
in the DNA of different organisms. But using bioluminescence as a way of encoding info, I'm not sure actually. Um, Apparently, Philips, the light bulb company, has come up with a way to use microbial bioluminescence to create ambient lighting in the house.
See, that would be
So,
rad.
like,
It sounds very
yeah,
expensive, but it would be really cool.
probably. But I would love to have just like ambient microbial light in my house. You know, like
Yeah.
I would like that. Um, so yeah, there's all kinds of different ways to use bioluminescence, and we're coming up with more and more all the time. Um, but I think that about wraps it for this one.
Okay. Well,
I can
it's
hear the
time, I guess
kids
then.
crying in the background too, so I think that's
Yeah.
my cue.
Children cry. That's how we know we're done.
Yep.
It's like the Italian stove timer. When the smoke alarm goes
Oh,
off, you wave the moppina at it. That's how you know your food's done.
right. Yep.
Yep.
Exactly so.
All right. So I guess it's time to hold up my end of the deal. I'll drop the track in right now. It's called Bioluminescence. Or maybe it's called Luminescence. I haven't quite decided if I want to call it Bioluminescence or Luminescence or Luminate. So if you have a thought on any of those titles after listening to it, put it in the comments below. But I need to do some tightening up. I know that of some of the mixing and everything before I put it out on Spotify for as a single. But yeah, I'm gonna play it right now.
If you wanna glow away with me, I know a mystery and I can take you for a ride. Lucifer and oxidation, luciferous in rotation, ATP will spark the light. Fireflies at night, mushrooms shining bright, plankton glowing in the tide. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of chemistry, you met me at the perfect time. You want glow, I want it, baby, my sugar boo. We're radiating the Milky Way, we're illuminating, yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight, glowing, starlight. I need you all night. Come on, glow with me, we're luminescent. You, moonlight, glowing, starlight. I need you all night. Come on, glow with me, we're luminescent. Glowing in the forest, green jellyfish with neon sheen, fungi glowing under the bark. Deep sea creature shining blue, lightning bugs with golden hue, nothing's ever too dark. Glitter in the sky, photons in her eyes, shining just the way we are. I feel like we're forever every time we glow together, but whatever, let's light up the dark. You want glow, I want it, baby, my sugar boo. We're radiating the Milky Way, we're illuminating, yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight, glowing, starlight. I need you all night. Come on, glow with me, we're luminescent. You, moonlight, glowing, starlight. I need you all night. Come on, glow with me, we're luminescent. You can glow away with me tonight. You can glow away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. We're luminescent, glows by a chemical, watch it blast off. Lucifer and Lucifer set the sparks off. And even if I wanted to, I can't stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. It glows by a chemical, watch it blast off. And I'm feeling so electric like my wings off. And even if I wanted to, I can't stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, I want it, baby, my sugar boo. We're radiating the Milky Way, we're illuminating, yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight, glowing, starlight. I need you all night. Come on, glow with me, we're luminescent. You, moonlight, glowing, starlight. I need you all night. Come on, glow with me, we're luminescent. You can glow away with me tonight. You can glow away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. We're luminescent. You, moonlight, glowing, starlight. I need you all night. Come on, glow with me, we're luminescent. You, moonlight, glowing, starlight. I need you all night. Come on, glow with me, we're luminescent. You can glow away with me tonight. You can glow away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. We're luminescent.
All right, so that was the song I made. Lauren, what is your grade? What is your analysis?
I love it. A plus, no notes.
A bit of Dua Lipa love, right?
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and I got to use the cajon I got for Christmas on it. It was a build your own cajon too. So it was a kit that I built myself, and I figured out how to layer hand claps and everything. So it's
Ooh, very nice.
yeah, aren't I fancy? Aren't I fancy at all? So yeah, love to hear what you guys would think of it, and put that in the comments below if you liked it, if you hated it, if you thought it was funny, if you thought it was educational and informative. But I think I covered just about all the topics, right? I covered the idea of how it all works, and I think it's an appropriate song for this episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's a good one.
Oh, well, you're just biased.
I am, in fairness.
Slightly.
But
Well, we would like it if you guys were all biased too towards our show.
yes.
And don't forget to hit the like, the comment, and subscribe, and all those good things. Mostly
Yeah.
subscribe and spread the word about it, because as we said at the beginning of the show, we got 17 listeners, so you guys are kind of on the ground floor, the first group in before we blow up. So you guys are going to be
Mhm.
some of the OGs, and
Yeah, you
we'll
could say
get
you
to
liked us before we were cool.
yeah, we'll never be cool, but that's okay. I liked us before we got like over 100 listeners. We'll say that, because I don't want to be cool. As Devo said, we're through with being cool.
Yeah.
So being cool is overrated. We were never cool. We never will be cool, and that's a good thing. Don't be cool. Um, but yeah, do all those things: like, comment, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. Give us suggestions for different episodes and topics you would like to explore, not just in microbiology, but across the spectrum of science, because that's what we're kind of going for here. We're going to expand our worlds out, where Lauren and me are both educating ourselves on different topics that show interest to us.
Mhm.
But yeah, Lauren, final thoughts.
Um.
All right, thanks. Good insight there. Loved it. Beautiful.
No, I'll come up with something good. I swear to God.
Save it for next time. I'm even going to be so bold as to turn it over to Shower Guy for final thoughts. Shower Guy, final thoughts. Yep, that was very insightful. Thank you, Shower Guy. I appreciate that. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. I can't say that enough, and we love each and every one of you, all 17 of you, and however many more are going to join in the coming weeks. So we'll see you next time. But this is PJ signing off, and I'm going to go dive into a giant box of Legos, and yeah, say goodnight, Lauren.
Good night, Lauren.